Hello everyone, I'm MC Toon and it's Tuesday night. I have a debate tonight with Jim Foster. Now he is having some trouble right now getting Zoom connected, so I'm helping him a little bit and we'll get, he's trying to get connected. I don't know what the problem is. He says he uses Zoom for work all the time. So, oh dear. Anyway, while he tries to get connected, I thought I would start up and give a couple pieces of information here. You may have heard that Jake, the guy that lives in his mom's basement, he wants to fight me. He wants to physically fight me. And FTFE and Simon Dan and everyone. Basically, poor Jake. Poor Jake is thrown in the towel. He knows he cannot compete in a battle of wits. So he needs to go down to the next lower level. Basically, waving that white flag of defeat there. So, unfortunately for Jake, probably fortunately for Jake, my instructors would be very upset at me were I to fight him because they say it's just not right to fight the mentally handicapped. So I won't be doing that. So, but I do appreciate that Jake has admitted such a flaming defeat that he can't even compete, can't even attempt to compete. So I appreciate that, Jake. So thanks, Jake. Now, Jake did miss an opportunity. Remember, if you saw the video, my first video on him, I said, I bet Jake wouldn't support the Zero G Indicator Dog charity. That's the charity where you purchase the Zero G Indicator Dog and the money goes to cancer research. And he got mad at me. He got, I think, fake indignant. That why would I suggest that he would not support such a thing? And so I said, well, you're right. I'm wrong, Jake. You do support that charity. The problem is he didn't actually then go support it. I said, well, then go ahead and throw the link into your description to your video so your people can go buy the Zero G Indicator Dog. Nothing from Jake. He didn't do that. I said, maybe we should do a collaboration, Jake. You and me. Let's write the script and we'll do a collaboration just to promote that particular charity. But nothing. He hasn't sent me ideas for the script or anything. So I don't know. So Many Karen says, simple solution. Can you beat him? If so, by the Jake's method, you've won. The Jake's method is a powerful method. It proves things with zero effort, or zero relation to reality. So, can we do it through YouTube? You know what? We can do it in Facebook Messenger. That will work. So I will do that. And that, all right. So Jim was asking, can we do it through Facebook, through something else? Yes, we can. So I will not use Zoom for Jim. I will, and then I will start a Zoom call, not a Zoom call, a Facebook call. Ooh. And you hear it. Even hear it. So that's good. I will get this configured. Weird. I thought he'd kind of answer right away, but maybe he's got to do his hair. I don't know. Weird. Yeah, I mean, you can hear it ringing. Zebulon. um, I I think all he needs to do is hit open. No answer. Wow. What was that? Jim. Jim. I made it easy for you. Oh, jeez. Sparky NJ. Might as well do this. For $10 says, I would like to know if gravity is fake and objects fall till they are at rest. Why do things roll downhill? They are on the ground. Shouldn't they be at rest? I'm sure Jim really has a great answer for that. I think I'll maybe try to roll that in. But yeah, you would think, if by their sloppy definition of these types of things, I don't know, that it would work. It'd be done. Somebody asked today on Facebook, this was a good one. How do you know that gravity is mass attracting mass? And my answer was, well, because the force is directly proportional to the mass. Larger mass, larger force. Smaller mass, smaller force. You can measure that with a spring scale, the kind that many people have in their bathroom, versus a balance scale, which measures mass. A spring scale will measure force. Because you see people talk about, well, maybe the downward acceleration is magnetism or electromagnetism, because it's not enough just to say magnetism, I guess, or electrostatics, like Austin Whitsitt says, although he doesn't understand electrostatics. But none of these work because none of them are proportional to mass. If it was about magnetism, it would be about the magnetic susceptibility, proportional to that, but it's not. If it were magnetism or if it were electromagnetism, things like that, you could shield it with a Faraday cage. If it was electrostatics, if it was at the same electrical potential, there'd be no downward acceleration. That'd be a great way to stop yourself from falling to death. Just have a wire connected to the ground so that you are electrically at the same potential so you don't fall. I don't think that'd work. Ooh, here we go. All right.
How's it going?
Good. All right. Hold on a second. I need to get some things set up here. There it is. All right. I don't know why it didn't work for you, but
well, I think it's my job. I'm in banking, and this is their phone. So yeah, I've had it for, quite a long time.
Just a second. People can hear you, but they can't see you yet. So there we go. Now they can see you.
That's the most important part.
Yes. The glorious hair.
Right.
So
tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm apparently, according to many flat earthers, I'm a NASA shill. I'm not, but I do get that a lot. And
well, I don't care what people think about you or what they call you. What about yourself? What do you do? I mean,
I write email software.
Okay.
And I do this on Tuesday nights for fun.
Okay, cool.
And I've got 33 kids, 17 boys, 17 girls, 11 sets of triplets. It was a tough 8 years, but totally worth it. Totally worth it.
That's funny. I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Right on. All right, so you said because you don't know what people sound like in Facebook, so you sound American. You sound like you're in the United States. I get a lot of people from Britain and Germany, and people calling me up and talking on the flat Earth and all that stuff. So, I was surprised to hear your accent is actually American.
Well, yeah, I'm in Minneapolis area here.
Right on, Oklahoma City.
All right.
So you do this every Tuesday. You try to get on and just talk about whatever whatever the subject matter is. And people are saying it's just a debate. Well, debates have rules and things like that. So we're just really just a discussion, and I don't have any might change anybody's mind, but because you're pretty solidified in your beliefs, I'm solidified in mine. But we can at least talk about the obvious or not the obvious things like that.
Yeah, I sometimes call it a debate, just not really meaning that it's a debate. I've challenged some people to like a rule-based debate, but generally
Right.
people aren't ready for that. So
Yeah, that's kind of the AP course. Yeah, I've done a few of those.
the AP course.
I was part of a symposium in Houston, Texas in 2012, and they had a friend of mine from NASA was there. She's no longer with NASA. There was a debate in a symposium with Neil deGrasse Tyson was there. They had all the big guns out. It was a lot of fun.
So Neil was at this symposium.
It was had to do with the aeronautical thing they have down in Houston, and that would turn it. It was a weekend long deal from Friday to Sunday, and I was just happened to be in town for a different function, and knew some people that were going to it, and I got invited and was sat on the panel and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, everybody was super cool. Neil, I don't know him personally. I got to meet him briefly. I guess we all have egos to a certain extent, but his was very much on display that day. So in my life, I've been trying to be a little bit more humble.
Yeah.
Totally. Need to be, because and not that I was ever, I'm not that I was ever an asshole or arrogant or anything like that, but people, look at these elites, look at all these globalists, how George Soros for one, these guys got massive egos, right? And pride cometh before the fall, and I'm a testament to that. In my 20s, and I'm 52 now. But my 20s and 30s, I traveled a lot and gotten some, try to say trouble, but just do what 20-year-olds do, and learned to calm down and be a little less egotistical. And that was in my mid 30s and 40s. Now 52, and it's always a work in progress, to be humble.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah.
So I saw you in some of the different. I don't know what flat earth groups. I'm in basically all of the flat earth groups on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so to get somebody every week, I'm just always asking. So I saw you, and you do these, you do occasionally live streams on Facebook.
Yes.
That's where I saw you. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah. My focus is because I was been flat earth or flat earth for forever, but my focus is really kind of switched to, you have to get this thing in your arm to work. You have to wear this. I'm focusing more really on the New World Order, the globalist agenda that we're headed. That does tie in to your belief system, our belief system, right? So everything is interconnected down the line somewhere.
All right.
Yeah.
So you said you've been a flat earther forever. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, because my family's Air Force. My dad was a squadron commander in the Air Force. My mom was a flight commander in the Air Force. This is in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. So I grew up hearing, this is in the 70s and 80s. I'm a teenager, that hearing that the Earth wasn't moving, because my dad, when he would do his stuff for his flights, everything was stationary. So it really wasn't a thing in my life at all, knowing that the Earth was stationary. Of course you're in school and you learn that it's this right here, right? But
why? I'm having a hard time that somebody in the Air Force would say that the Earth is stationary.
Okay. That's understandable, I guess. I know many pilots, I say many, I would say 5, that that have the same, that I know personally, that know that when they do their flight plans and things like that, they don't take into consideration a spinning globe at all. And
Well, you don't need, they don't need to.
well, I know, but what I'm saying is from point A to point B, because from going one place to another, they don't take into the spin and whatever it is they do on their charts. And my dad has said that, if you're in a plane, the planes are always flying level, right? We guess we can agree with that. They never have to tip their nose down or lower their
you
the front to go around.
There's no reason. There's no reason for that to happen either. That's not how the physics works.
Well, physics 101 is that, if there's depending on how big the plane is, if you've got if you're going around any type of object, there's always a downturn at some point. Whether or not you notice it or not, you are going around a globe, correct? So there's, because if you didn't dip your nose at one certain point or try to follow the trajectory of the parabola, you would just go out into space, right?
Wait,
according to the globe model.
Don't you tell me about the globe model. I'll tell you about the globe model.
You tell me, and I'll tell you about flat Earth.
You tell me about the flat Earth model. So on the globe model,
all right,
a plane is in equilibrium between lift and up and down basically, and the pressure, the air pressure, is the most important thing in keeping that at the same elevation.
Mm-hmm.
And on the globe, the pressure is all at approximately equal distance above the ground. So a plane could not, if it wanted to, go off into space because it doesn't have enough lift, because as soon as you get a little higher up, the air is more rarefied, so it loses that lift and comes back down to that same level that it was before.
Right. Understandable. But if we were to, just for the sake of argument, say they could, if they would end up, being trajectory towards out to wherever they're supposed to be going. Now, you brought something up that interests me about there's something called atmospheric flow, right? So, I'm at the age now where I've forgotten more than I know. Okay. I used to be in this heavy in the 13, 14, 15, 16. And then my thought process changed to the New World Order. But there's something called atmospheric flow. And what basically all that is if you're in a train, right, if you're in a train, you throw a ball up, it doesn't go away from you, right, because you're in that contained space, right? And so that's kind of how they explain why when a helicopter is just hovering, it doesn't go anywhere, because it's being pulled along with the atmosphere, right? And to me, that just really never made sense logically, just because if the atmosphere is so dense and powerful to move an object along with it, then that's another force that we should be feeling at some point, if from my estimation. So really
there's another force we should feel. They move generally together. Yeah.
Okay, right. And to me, that just really never, because to me that's kind of comparing a firecracker to a hydrogen bomb. If you're gonna do the calculations and blow it up to that size, take yourself out of the train, right, and then put yourself into the real world. It just never really, because I like what you can see, touch, and feel, right? And I like what Judge Judy says. If it doesn't make sense, it's not true, right? So things to me that make sense are see, touch, and feel, and that just of course my math used to be really good, and trig and all that kind of stuff years ago, but once they start getting to theoretical things, I started to be white noise to me. This is years ago. And what's your thought on the atmospheric flow, how it pulls it along? Why does it, and how does it? Do you have any?
Well, it's conservation of momentum.
Right.
It's a pretty simple concept there, that the air is moving with the earth, and because of the.
But wouldn't the weight of, let's say, a helicopter, however much they weigh, wouldn't that force it to kind of, just with it just hovering, Was the atmosphere that powerful? Is what you're saying, that all that air and that force for us not to feel it moving us, because we don't feel anything when we're in a helicopter, right?
It's not how powerful that the air needs to be. It's just conservation of momentum. The air and the helicopter and the ground are all moving together at the same speed already.
Right, kind of like the train, right?
Yeah.
And then yeah.
Now people are saying that we can hear my audio coming back through your speaker.
I think I know what I can do.
Okay.
Go ahead and say something.
Okay, how's that? We'll see if it. Oh no, I'm still hearing it.
Okay, no problem. Bear with me.
Okay. Mr. Autopants, yes, that's. I don't recommend that.
Is it still coming through?
I don't. I'm not sure yet. I have to talk a little bit before I. Oh yeah, I can get a little. If you have earbuds, that would do it.
Hold that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a curtain. I love the curtain and the clear plastic chair. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think this is. Yeah. So, yeah. What's it?
I think we can.
The reality is that headphone wires are always instantly tangled.
Oh, totally. That is the truth.
My kid's like, Dad, can you untangle these? I'm like, oh, this is the biggest knot in history.
All right, bear with me. So let's make sure this goes in, because I'm still hearing you. Hold on a minute.
Yep. All right. Let's see.
There we go. That might be it. Let me double check. You there?
I'm seeing your ceiling. Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
There we go.
Perfect.
That will definitely help.
Awesome. But so yeah, it always confounded me about how of course the we're all moving together, but when you're it's just one of those kind of deals. I can't explain it. A lot of people smarter than me think they know what they're saying, and I understand the conversation. Of energy? Sorry.
Conservation of momentum.
Of momentum, and I understand the physics behind it, but it was just always something that intrigued me, and the whole deal with how this round world model came about was always suspect to me too. So that's what as I got older, in mid 30s and stuff, and started really trying to learn about it, it was always suspect to me as well.
Okay, so all right, like I said, the globe. There isn't a problem with that on the globe. So why do you think that the Earth is stationary then? Was there some evidence, some measurements that you saw?
Well, okay, so first of all, I don't feel it, right? But that's because we're all moving together, right?
I mean, we don't expect to feel it.
No. Well, but why would there be an expectation to feel it?
Because
just because science says? I mean, is it just
it's because people have measured humans' ability to measure rotation.
Well, okay, so
right. And it's very important for pilots as part of the training of pilots when they're getting their higher end license, not just their visual license, but their instrument license, because you need to rely on the instruments correctly because our internal senses aren't correct.
No, always pay. Yeah, that's one thing my dad and my mom always, say pay attention to the instruments, because if you go blind,
Yeah,
you need
so,
to pay attention. Oh, I know.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
I
so
understand
you
all
you
that.
yeah you use the instruments because they're the ones that are measuring things, and they're not going to get fooled like we are. People, you hear people say trust your senses, but everybody else that wants your life to not end says don't trust your senses.
No.
So
No.
so
But to answer your question, yes, I lived in California for 12 years. I was in Los Angeles. I've done, and this is, with friends, we've done the whole experiments, the horizon, and bring the ships back into view with the telescope and all that. So that's why I know that, and water always finds its level, right? We don't have to get into the water won't bend and all that stuff, but water will always
but
find its level.
but what's the definition of level in relation to the Earth?
What do you mean? So the relation is that
The
if there's,
definition.
huh? So
What's the definition of level when you're speaking about the shape of the Earth? It's an adjective. It describes.
Well, no, I know, I understand. No, but because it's flat.
No,
So
that's
why
not the
everything's level.
definition.
If it was round, we wouldn't be able to bring those ships back into view, because water always finds its level. It's always there.
It does, but the definition of level is right here. You see that?
How do you see? I need to get this set up, honey. Yeah, I do see it.
Okay, that is the definition of level. A curved surface. That's the actual definition of level. So when you say water always finds its level, I say yes. Level is a curved surface, as defined for hundreds of years by the people that measure the Earth, surveyors. Here is a and people at home are not seeing this. I need to switch so that they can see what I'm sending. There it is. So here is from a book first published in the 1700s, and this is an edition from 1814. True level is a curve conforming to the surface of the Earth as ABG. So here you see the letter A, B, G, that curve. That's the definition. That's the definition for the word level.
But that's the control system definition.
Yeah.
Right?
So now if you disagree, then what you'd want to do is find measurements that show that level is something other than what they've said. These are the people that have measured the shape of the Earth. It's their job. Right. You're good at your job. These people are good at their job.
But it's coming from the control system. See, I don't believe anything in this control system.
Okay.
At
So
all,
then you must have measurements of flatness of water.
Correct. And you can do that looking out at the ocean towards at the West Coast. When you look at the oil rigs, this is, of course, years ago, measure the distance, how far they were, see the top of it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people smarter than me have done this, on this flat Earth side, because I don't know it all.
Yeah. The thing is, I've looked at all of these measurements from the flat earthers that do supposed long distance observations. Never do they take into account the conflating variables. So it's a low quality observation at best.
Okay. So let me ask you this. So they're not taking into account, give me an example from your diagram here and the trigonometry that we're looking at.
Well, this doesn't, this is just the definition of levels, what you're looking at there, right? That's not how to take into account conflating variables. But at low elevation over water, the most important conflating variable is refraction. And quantifying the effects of refraction is very difficult to do. And typically what I've seen is flat earthers go at the times when the refraction is at the absolute highest and then don't take it into account as if it doesn't even exist. So they're maximizing its effect and minimizing their calculations of it. So using your example,
So they're taking the best parts of it, leaving the worst parts out, right?
Yeah.
So they can get the answer they want.
I think for most of them, it's not intentional. I think they don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, they get the answer they want, and then they stop. They don't do the next step, which would be, when you do something, when you're measuring something, or you refine, you go through steps of refining, mm-hmm. right? So you take your first step, and then you improve it by adding more details to your analysis, and then add more details to your analysis, and add more. But hold on a second. I've got somebody said Webster. Brandon Fall wants the Webster definition of level, and then accused me of lying. So
go ahead, look it up
right here on screen right now. Merriam-Webster. Jim, you're not seeing it, but
that's okay. What's that name?
Level, having no part higher than another, conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface. Just for you, Brandon Fall. Sorry. Conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface. You requested the Webster Dictionary definition. I gave you the Webster Dictionary definition. You're welcome, Brandon. There it is. Now, Brandon, don't change the topic. Jim closed the call. He was talking to somebody. So there it is. Brandon Fall. Asked and given. You're welcome. So now, are you going to apologize to me, Brandon, for accusing me of lying? I think that's a great question. Brandon, you accused me of lying, said that I need to look at the Webster definition of level. I did. It says conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface. Brandon, what's your response? Anything? Tell you what, Brandon, how about you record a video apologizing for accusing me of lying? How about that, Brandon? Thank you. Looks like Jim was talking to somebody and had to and ended the call. Maybe, I know it wasn't a rage quit. He's decent guy. I do like Jim. I think he doesn't understand the details of science and is allowing that to bring him to the wrong conclusions. So, Brandon, oh, there it is. I did Google and Webster before I sent that. Well then, Brandon, why did you say that I was lying? Brandon, because right there on the screen, Webster, you see that? Webster. You see that? Webster. It's right there. Webster, Brandon. Webster, Brandon. Conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface. Brandon, will you be apologizing for accusing me of lying, Brandon? Brandon? I await your answer, Brandon. Yeah. I don't like that, Brandon. I don't like that at all. And I'm not lying, Brandon, because I have about 45 citations here for the definition of level. You have none referring to the surface of the Earth that say anything about flatness, Brandon. Yeah. Anything, Brandon? You got a response yet? People are saying man up, Brandon. Right here, this one I just added. It's from a surveying textbook. Line of sight, horizontal line, level line. Look at that, it's a curve. Level is a curve, Brandon. Maybe I should look again. Oh, I'm looking again, Brandon. Look at that. It still says conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface, Brandon. What do you got, Brandon? Anything? Just more crap from you, Brandon? What's wrong with you? Why are you such an idiot, Brandon? Why do you have to lie to support your stupid belief? How can you be so absolutely pathetic, Brandon? You accuse me of lying. It's right there. Tell you what, Brandon, I'll send you a link right now. You can come on and apologize to me. Send me an email. Send me an email. I'll give you a Zoom link. You can come on and apologize to me for accusing me of lying. mctoon@mctoon.net. Come on. I need that apology from you, Brandon. So, how pathetic. How pathetic, Brandon.
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
All right. I've got it, Brandon. Just send me that email. Just send me that email. You can come on and apologize to me like you owe me. Come on. Send that email. Come on. Come on, Brandon. Nothing? Nothing, Brandon? What's wrong with you? How pathetic do you have to be? Accuse me of lying when it's right on the screen. Yep. There it is. Tell you what, I will go right to the Webster dictionary. Right there. There it is. Brandon, you scumbag, pathetic liar. There it is. Live looking at Webster's dictionary as you requested, Brandon. Conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface, Brandon. I'm lying? The Rumpus says, he just repeated the accusation. Well, I don't care about the shape of the Earth. You are lying about what Webster says. Webster, it's right on the screen right now. Webster, Brandon, it's right on the screen. What's wrong with you? Are you that stupid, Brandon? Do you have like a mental disability, Brandon, where you can't read the words on the screen, Brandon? What a horrible person. What a horrible person. Yeah. Brandon's mom said he was a baby. Childish behavior, Brandon. Look inside an old dictionary. I do have an old dictionary definition of level here. Webster's Encyclopedia of Dictionaries. Look at that right there. Has this definition. A surface which is everywhere perpendicular to the direction of gravity. Do you like that particular definition, Brandon? How am I lying about what Webster says when it's on the screen? Brandon? Anything? Please don't time him out. I know he's probably scared to death. He should be. He should be. Nothing? Let's see. No email yet from Brandon the Coward, who won't come on to apologize for making a false accusation. What a pathetic person. Well, let me just put it back up on the screen right here. The live definition from Webster. There. His mommy probably told Brandon to do the dishes. Got the screenshot on Discord. Oh, is he on Discord saying this stuff? Oh, no. The screenshot is. I got it. Tommy said that. There it is. I think that's worth putting up right now. I will grab that, put that on the screen here. And we can enjoy Brandon's hypocrisy. Yep. People like him. I mean, why does their mom, why does Brandon's mom let him out of the basement in the morning? I mean, so, all right, I got it here. There we go. Oh, it's a little fuzzy. Google or Webster the definition of level. You, sir, are lying, says Brandon. But Webster says Brandon is lying. Come on, Brandon. Let me check my email again, see if you have the guts. Nope. Well, there it is. Brandon, you are a pathetic liar. You're a coward. You're a chicken. You have a religious, stupid faith about the shape of the earth so strong that you will lie, blatantly lie about what is inside a dictionary definition that I had on the screen when you were making the lie. All right, I'm going to try to get Jim back in. Brandon, I think when I said Brandon fail, I meant Brandon fail. Brandon, you do fail. You are a complete failure. An absolute complete failure. I don't know what you do. I don't know why you had so much trouble in math and science class in high school that you stopped taking them when they were no longer mandatory, and that you had to cheat your way just to pass the science and math classes that you had to take. It's very sad that you had to do that, Brandon. Yep. But that's who you are. Why are flat earthers like that? Why do you have to be so horrible? Why won't you do what I asked? Brandon says. What? You asked me to look up the Webster definition for level, and it's right there. Brandon fail? Nothing? So yes, gotta lie to Flurf. Brandon, you are a liar. You are a failure. And that's probably why you're a flat earther, Brandon. Because you're a failure in life. It's sad. I know, maybe you could do something. Maybe you could study. Maybe you could learn. But Brandon, you're a failure in life. Yeah, I know I'm being harsh. You deserve it. So, still no email accepting that he's going to come on and apologize. PJCnet says we're not all horrible. PJCnet, I will agree, you are not all horrible. But Brandon, he is horrible. He is horrible. Yeah. If he stopped lying, maybe he would stop being a failure. Could be. I think he still would not understand science and math, though, which is how he got to where he is today. So, all right, I got a response coming back from Jim. Tell the mods to let Brandon's comments through so we can all mock him. Yes, don't time out Brandon. You time him out, you lose your wrench. His phone went dead. Jim's phone went dead. He says he needs to tuck in his 23 children. He doesn't have 23 children. Who has that many kids? That's craziness. Jim had to take a break to get his tips refrosted. So, all right. Well, I will leave Brandon fail to be a failure for now. Let me read a couple, and I may have to come back to a few when Jim is back. But and time's getting short because I got Trey Hutchinson in just over an hour. He had to unplug his phone to plug in the earbuds. There you go. All right. Let's see. Alyssum says if you were to be forced to have only one drink for the rest of your life that isn't water, what would it be? Also stay hydrated. Oh, well, what else would it be? What tab? Reminds me, I need to get my Toon Shine because that's my choice number 2. Just a second. My wife, when I get a little riled up afterwards, she's like, "Wow, you were really talking." She's gonna say that tonight about Brandon. So that isn't, well, yeah. So, yep, tab or Toonshine. Alyssa, now for tradition, why is all navigation based on a globe? I will ask Jim. That's a good question, since I found it a little strange that he said that he was a flat earther, or he thought that the earth was stationary because his parents were in the Air Force. I would think quite the opposite. In fact, do you at least have a cushion for that old wooden chair? That's a great question. When I started working from home a year and a half ago, this was the chair that was in here. And, I didn't sit on it that often. So it didn't matter much. But I do have a cushion. You want to see? It's just a blanket. That's all it is. So, no, I don't need... there it is. It's now it's all goofy. There we go. I don't need a whole lot. I don't lean back a lot, and sometimes I think maybe I should go get my nicer desk chair from work, but then I'm like, oh, we're not that far from going back to work, but yeah, we probably are anyway. So So yes, that's a great question, Alyssum, for the son of some aircraft, Air Force people. Tim Tully says they gave me a medal for being humble, but took it away because I wore it. Oh, that's funny. That's like Team Skeptic bragging about how humble he is. Andrea Huddle, does your wife watch these debates? She does not watch many. She's mostly says, why do you debate those dumb people? She doesn't understand why. Because they're so dumb. Ordinary Bear, anyone got one globe proof for Dearth's challenge? 3 Bitcoins. Here, that's a great question there, Ordinary Bear. So a legit challenge is the problem. And let me just show. This is a great opportunity. I hope you're watching, Ordinary Bear. Here is on my website. Right down here near the bottom, challenges, the legit challenge framework. Now I am the winner of a couple different challenges. The problem with challenges like Dearth's is they're fake. The reason why it's fake is because it doesn't have these criteria. The criteria is not clear. What is a proof according to Dearth? Don't know. That's a bit ambiguous because in science, we don't deal with proof. So he is expecting proof, something that is outside of science. It is definitely inside of pseudoscience. And let me show you mctoon.net/PS for pseudoscience. Here's a link to Thinking is Power, the 11 characteristics of pseudoscience. Coming up here, one of the characteristics of pseudoscience is talking about proof. I think it's number 8. Number 8, professes certainty, talks of proof. That is pseudoscience. So Dearth is asking for pseudoscience. So I don't know how to do that. I'm not a pseudoscientist, Ordinary Bear. So anyway, clear criteria. What exactly would he accept as proof? So that's number 1. Number 2, unmodifiable criteria. I don't want to, nobody wants to enter a challenge and then after you submit your answer for them to say, oh, I meant something else. No, so you need to write down the criteria and then put it in some place so that people can see it, refer back to it, and after the fact, they can still refer back to the original, right? Number 3, proof of ability to pay. Dearth may or may not have that ability, probably does. But this is the most important. Then an option for independent judging. If Dearth is the only judge, Dearth will just say no to everything. So he needs to have the judging be independent. So you say, well, what do you mean? Do you have any examples of that? Well, I certainly do. I have, in fact, created my own challenge, 2 of them. One of them is right here, my gravity challenge. Now I did all these things. I have written up, or Ordinary Bear, I hope you're watching. I've written up all of the details, including the clear acceptance criteria. Further, I have put it into this document right here. You see this document? That document you can download. It's a text file. And it has a hash. You can do the SHA-256 checksum on it. You can do it before and after. You can see that I cannot change it because if the checksum changes, I changed the rules. You'll know that. So you download the original, you get the SHA of the original, and you'll know if I try to change it. No cheating allowed. Independent judging criteria, like I said, is one of the most important. So judge. So I am the primary judge of this, but if they don't like it, it can go to arbitration. And here is the judges. Must be qualified in one of the following ways. 3 judges, a panel of 3 judges. 1 chosen by me, 1 chosen by the challenge submitter, and 1 chosen by a group of people on Reddit is how I did this. So you can look that up. I'll put the link to that in here. So Ordinary Bear, should you want to enter a challenge, $10,000 can be yours. You just need to, meet the challenge, I guess. So Flurfs won't believe Shaw checksum. They will make up some BS about them. Since, let's face it, Flurfs can't math. That's true. That's very true. I don't know. So Ordinary Bear asked 500 military, they do not believe false globe. Well, sounds like you're lying there. But we know from earlier experiences tonight from Brandon Fail that Flurfs lie. So send these names of these 500 military that do not believe the false globe. Then I'll believe you, but lacking that, you're lying. Look into your self-engineering, no curve ever. Why would you need to add curve to an engineering project that doesn't go more than half a mile? How much curve is in half a mile, Ordinary Bear? An entire 69 miles is necessary for 1 degree of curve. So half a mile, which would be a gigantic building. How many degrees of curve is in that? How many? 1/140th about of a degree. Well, I tell you what, the margin of error on almost every building project is much higher than that. So I guess you're pretty lame on that. You lost on that one, Ordinary Bear. But Ordinary Bear, just curious, what is, according to Dearth, what is proof? What is proof? Can you quantify, Ordinary Bear? Can you quantify proof? Can you maybe list out particular criteria that would be accepted for proof of the globe? Would you take measurements? Would a measurement to the mind of a pseudoscientist like yourself, would that be proof to you? Yeah, Bridges idiot. I mean Bridges idiot, Ordinary Bear. Send the engineering documentation that you're referring to, that you definitely reviewed and should have curvature figured in but doesn't. Send that, mctune@mctune.net. I'll put it up on my website to disprove all of the globe, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, all right. Well, Ordinary Bear, I look forward to your definition of globe proof. What is acceptance criteria for that? Let me get back to this here. Donald Silverfur says 9 months of busting flurfs and conspiracy nuts. Keep the content coming, MC2. And thank you very much, Connell. Saeed Ahmed Toon, why are you debating Vanilla Ice? It's MC Toon against Vanilla Ice, I guess. A discussion between Rachie and Mallory. Oh, that would be a mess. That'd be a mess. Yeah, he did. I don't know. I'm not good at, I've never dyed my hair. Do people think that he had to dye his hair to get it to look like that? I don't know. Mark Wagner, same Flurf, drivel, different doofus. Tune the crap out of this guy. Tune the crap out of the dice. The truth is in the name, MC Tune. Ordinary Bear is just acting for a big, strong moron. Did he, Gary IOW, did he get a refund from the hairdresser? He should. Gary. I was joking with them before. I always mess with them before stuff if I can. And like I kind of got the idea that he has a little bit of a sense of humor. So I'm like I said Betty at NASA headquarters sent the hair and makeup person a little late. I hope he got the joke. I don't know if they get the joke. William TM says, here's a long distance observation for Jim to try and explain. All right, let me pull that up. Let's see. There it is.
Okay, guys, I'm going to prove to you that the Earth.
Do I need sound? I'll turn it up a little.
Check this out. All right, so we're going to zoom across. We're at Myrtle Beach here. We're going to zoom across.
Oh,
this
yes.
thing I can barely see.
I love this one.
All right, what do we see here?
What is
We see
that?
some sort of very big building over here. Looks
Is
like a
this
hotel.
proof, Ordinary
A water
Bear?
tower.
Does this
Now,
qualify
we
as
know
proof?
that
Because
those
what
cannot be
what-
sitting in the water, right?
what's the
So that's
plausible
our
mechanism? What's the plausible mechanism for flat Earth? For these things being obstructed? It kind of fails, doesn't it? Yeah, that's even lower. How does that happen? Most of them are acting for the views or publicity, just to make some pennies on the views. Yep. Dearth is one of them for sure. Absolutely, Dearth is one of them. He is the biggest. I think Dearth is the biggest flat Earth shill. Actually, I don't think there's such thing as a shill, but the guy that is all about leveraging as much as he can to make money. That's all that Dearth is about. So yeah, that water tower somehow, I mean, you don't need a water tower if it's already in the water, right? I mean, it's not even a tower. So there it is. How do you explain that, flat earthers? Ordinary Bear, is that the proof that you were looking for? Yeah, Triple Crow. Brandon will have this on his show tomorrow, I'm sure. He'll convince his mentally challenged minions that he is in the right. He's great at conning the stupid, ignorant, and mentally soft. Absolutely, that is Brandon's audience. Brandon Failure audience is perfectly described as stupid, ignorant, and mentally soft. There it is. If it's not a water tower, it's a dry tower. Maybe it's an air tower. They're just keeping air in it. All right. Steve, 6464 for $5 says, could level in sea level mean height? So maybe sea level means sea height. I don't know. Height is spelled wrong, but that's fine. I have on occasion spelt things wrong. In fact, this exact video, I didn't spell Jim's name right in the initial. I spelled it Jom. Not on purpose. It just came out that way. So anyway, Mr. Unite for the Children for $2 says, you can't trust Webster. He made a deal with the devil. Mark Beiser, member for 17 months. Thank you, Mark. Mark gave me a ride, not home, back from after the Flat Earth Convention in Dallas in 2019. He went way out of his way to drop me off at our friend's house. Thank you again, Mark Beiser. It says Brandon fail equals poo flinging monkey. Absolutely. Ordinary bear, no curve left to right, horizontal. We do not live in a ball. Holy crap, you're a moron. Yeah. So, ordinary bear, any globe measurements yet? Thought not. Well, ordinary bear, you've not been paying attention. Maybe you only watch things in your echo chamber. Is that it? Because ordinary bear, here are 6 measurements of the radius of the Earth. 6. Now, I chose these not because there's only 6. There's significantly more than 6 ordinary bear. But these were all done a while ago. The most recent is from 1909. Now you're like, why do you use such old ones? Because it's before NASA. You can't say NASA had any part to do with this. It was done using techniques that people could do on their own if they really wanted, right? They're difficult. Hard things are hard to do. That's it. And precise measurements are difficult all the time. So, ordinary bear. Here it is. I'll put it in the chat. So you can bring this to your, you can look at this and you can say, oh, there are measurements of the radius of the Earth. You were wrong, ordinary bear. You just didn't know about it because you spent so much time in your echo chamber. Now you've seen it. Thank you for coming out of your echo chamber. Tommy Gronwald. Tommy, could you send that message to me on Discord? Because then I won't, because then I'll come back to it. So yeah, so now that I've shown you 6 measurements of the shape of the Earth and given you the link, ordinary bear, do you have measurements of flatness that you've done or somebody else has done that you can refer to? Measurements of flatness. That would be your response. So you're just like, you don't have measurements of the curve. It's a bit hypocritical for you to have a problem with me not having measurements, which of course I do. It's very hypocritical, not a little, for you to not have the very same thing for your position. Ordinary bear. Don't you see the hypocrisy? Maybe you don't, but the rest of us do. We all see that hypocrisy there, ordinary bear. So, Trey is good. We're 45 minutes out from Trey. I might have to try to reschedule Jim. Maybe Jim can get a better setup. I'll have to walk him through it, I guess. Good thing I schedule more than one per night, because sometimes it just doesn't happen. Ordinary bear is a bear with little brain. Aw. We don't know that yet, Clive. We don't know that yet, right? Maybe he hasn't yet gotten to the level of Brandon Fail. So, let me check. No email from Brandon Fail yet. General E. Shady, go on. You know what? For PJCnet, I am happy for him to keep poking around. I suppose he'll come on sometime, but I'm okay. I'm okay for now. Lurfs just eyeball things. They are allergic to measurements. Absolutely. It looks flat. That's it. That's all they have. It looks flat. And somehow you think that you can establish the shape of the Earth by it looks flat, in direct contradiction to thousands of years of people measuring it, people that have put effort into it more than just it looks flat. That 1 degree curve you failed to see over 60 plus mile. Yeah, that's a globe. It's the ground, man. Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen last week, Andrew Pickett, got to be my favorite of 2021. People asked me last year, what was my favorite debate of 2020? I didn't really know, but I know right now, and it's going to be hard to beat. Andrew Pickett is absolutely going to be one of my favorite of this year. So very, very expert. You're going to need F for that. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, Ordinary Bear, you're going to need F for that. A measurement of flatness. Oh, okay. All right. Andrew Pickett versus Raw. They're both flatties. That would be weird. They wouldn't know what to do. Oh gosh. Fake Raw constantly pegs me in messages. He is ridiculous. It's hilariously funny. I love the nonsense he sends. Let's see, Barrett, you ever measured? We have. Oh, have I personally measured the radius of the Earth? I have 4 times personally measured the radius of the Earth. Let me show you one of them. I have one of them ready to go on my website with pictures even. So here it is. I hope you're watching. I hope you're watching here. On December of 2019, on the solstice, I measured the radius of the Earth with 2 other people. We did the same style as Eratosthenes, but there are 3 of us, not just 1. So Eratosthenes was 1. There were 3 of us. So here's a little bit of math. So here's the measurement. The length of the shadow was 3.07 meters. It's a stick and shadow. The height of the pole was 1.27 meters. Now I have too many significant figures there, but no flat earther will identify a problem with that. But the OCD of us will definitely. And in fact, I was just reading a book on surveying, and it went at length about significant figures, and I will have to amend this anyway. So those are the raw numbers. Here's a picture of the measurements. You see in that picture here, I drew a line on the ground in chalk, and here I measured it, 121 inches, 50 and some spare there inches for the height. Now, those, along with the 2 other people, were put into a spreadsheet, and the math was done. Now, there are 2 hypotheses here, Ordinary Bear. Well, PJCnet, you have to assume the globe for all this to work. In fact, that is not true. There are 2 hypotheses. Hypothesis number 1, the Earth is flat. The prediction is that measuring the shadow to get the angle, that's all we're doing, is we're getting the angle. You could get the angle in ways other than the shadow, but for nostalgia, we used the shadow length. So the hypothesis is flat Earth. The prediction is that that we could triangulate the position of the sun accurately from all the different positions simultaneously. Since these were all taken on the same day, since it was on the solstice and the December solstice, so the sun was traveling around the Tropic of Capricorn. So we know where the sun was for every observer all day. So we have the angle of elevation. We have 3 different angles of elevation. We have the distance to the Tropic of Capricorn. We have the sun elevation on flat Earth. Now the problem is, you can see we got 3 different elevations for the sun, assuming flat, or hypothesizing flat Earth. Do you know what this means? What does this mean, PJC Net and Ordinary Bear? Let's go back. Let's do this. Let's ask Feynman what he says about this type of, about how to do science.
I'm going to discuss how we would look for a new law. In general, we look for a new law by the following process. First, we guess it. Then we well, don't laugh. That's really true. Then we compute the consequences of the guess.
That's what I did.
To see if this is right, if this law that we guessed is right, we see what it would imply. And then we compare those computation results to nature. Or we say compare to experiment or experience.
Yep. That's what I did.
Compare it directly with observation to see if it works. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
And that simple statement is the key to science.
So there it is. The key to science, Richard Feynman. If it disagrees with experiment, it's wrong. Flat Earth hypothesis, we can triangulate that the Earth is flat. Prediction is, we computed the consequences that we could triangulate the position of the sun. It doesn't match observations. Flat Earth is wrong. That's science. You don't like science, I understand, because it contradicts your pre-selected conclusion. So that was hypothesis number 1, we falsified flat Earth. Hypothesis number 2, the Earth is a sphere. The sun is very far away. The prediction is then that we can use the angle to the sun to measure the radius of the Earth with some basic trigonometry. We did that exact thing right here. That's this column here. This is globe math, globe predictions, or not predictions, the measurements for the globe. And look at that. They all match. 3 different locations on the surface of the Earth, hypothesizing the globe. They all come within a very small, narrow margin of error. Amazing. Globe confirmed. Now, I didn't do that once, Ordinary Bear and PJC Net. I did that 4 times. I don't have the others. If you want to see the others, I don't have them handy. I do have them. I can give you the other spreadsheets, and you can look at all of them. I did it on both solstices and both equinoxes over the course of a year and a half, I think, because I needed to, because it was cloudy one of the days. So I had to come back a year later to do it. So there it is. That is my personal measurement of the radius of the Earth. My own, right, which was, which one is mine? Right here. This one is mine, this middle one. The radius of the Earth in kilometers, 6,471.8 kilometers. There it is. So where did you do, Ordinary Bear? Where did you do the measurements? What did you get for the flatness when you measured the flatness? You know, you're going to need F for that. That would be the deviation from horizontal. That would be one way to do it. You know, if the Earth is flat, horizontal matches sea level. They're the same. So you take a horizontal line and you go out and somehow measure, there's many ways you could do it, measure out 1 mile, 2 miles, 10 miles, and measure to see the deviation. If the deviation is sufficiently small, that suggests the Earth is flat. There it is. Length of the stick. Yes, darn it, I misspelled length of the stick. Is that in that? Hey, hold on a second. Just look at that. That's right here. All right. Don't send that shirt to me, Bitwise. Send that shirt to Neriel. This is actually his spreadsheet. You can see at the top. Oh, it's off the screen. It's in Hebrew. Let me fix that so you can see it. It's if you know Neriel, he's a friend of mine. He lives in Israel. So when people are like, when they get the definition of the word NASA in Hebrew wrong, I just look at him and say, hey, what do you think about that nonsense? He says, I speak Hebrew natively since birth, and that's not what NASA means. So, what did Jason do here? It's not experiment. Oh, no atmospheric refraction. Nor can you verify. Of course you can verify. You could try to do it yourself. And yes, I did in fact include an atmospheric refraction in the analysis. The problem is that the atmospheric refraction, number one, works the opposite than what flat Earth wants. But the actual problem is that the margin of error of my measurement is the thickness of that line of chalk, which introduces a larger margin of error than the refraction in this example. But feel free, Jason, to go get the refraction for that. You can see right there the angle, the length of the shadow angle, the angle of elevation, 22.5 degrees. So look up in the Nautical Almanac, the refraction adjustment for 22.5 degrees. It's not much. It's significantly small. So it is a very scientific measurement. And all that you've done, Jason, is identified that the margin of error analysis, I didn't state the refraction. You're right. I could add it to this, but it won't change the outcome. So generally shady stick size does matter. Has to be able to cast a measurable shadow. Mankind's new standard. Could be. So is Ordinary Bear still around to give us the definition? I'm still wondering about the definition for proof. How do we know what proof is? Because it's not scientific, right? It is pseudoscience. But anyway, all right. I'm suspecting that Ordinary Bear and Dearth, and none of them can actually qualify what they mean when they say proof. Therefore, the challenge by their own admission is fake, because they can't even qualify what they would accept as proof. So quit with your fake challenges. Have the guts, like I did, to write it up like I did with clear criteria. Right? Now, Ordinary Bear, you have an invitation to enter my challenge for $10,000. What's wrong? Why haven't you done it? Why are you going around telling other people to enter Dearth's fake challenge? You should totally enter my challenge, because it's not fake. So, let me just read this again. Brandon Fail equals poo-flinging monkey. Lael says, you have always been afraid to debate me because I am the Kumpf PG the Flurfs. What's Coom HPG the Flurf? King? You mean King of the Flurfs? Yes, Lael, you are the King of the Flurfs. He's not actually a Flurf. You are the King of the Flurfs, Lael. Connell Silverfur says, the ocean in that video was obviously CGI. Yes. That's maybe what they're going to have to say. Caucasian Sensation is a member for 5 months, says, hey, MC Toon, keep up the awesome and bashing stupid. And Lael says, is it possible to measure 73 10,000ths of 1 degree of curvature with any tools ever created? 73 10,000ths of 1 degree of curvature. That's a pretty small number. I don't know offhand, of course, what is the most precise tool that has been made to measure that type of thing. But my guess is that either it doesn't exist or it's exceedingly expensive. Matt Klein, this is awesome. Toon, guys like PJC Net and Bear can't lick the dirt off the bottom of Armstrong's boots, and they think they can disprove science. So what they're trying to do is disprove science, or at least their Ordinary Bear is declaring that he is not in favor of science because he says proofs. As soon as you say proof, you're a pseudoscientist. So, and this is what really gets me, because it's really comes down to this. They always say water finds its level. And they're playing a mind game there. It's deception, because they want you to think that level means flat, because in many instances in our life, level does coincide with flat. It doesn't mean flat, but especially when you're talking about the shape of the earth. But when you're hanging something on the wall and you have a flat board, you want to level that flat board on the wall. Yeah, you use them. They coincide. But they're abusing that. And they have no measurements of flatness. But they will say that level is flat and water is always level. Therefore, everything is flat. They make these false equalities here. It's lying is what it is. That's all it is you're just lying. PJC. MC Toon tried to show it measured from almost ground level with a long bar pivoted that would obviously slightly curve downward itself. I don't know what that even means. PJCnet, please explain what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you can explain that a little better. Ray is definitely looking like he'll be here, so I think that's going to be good. Lots of definitions of to suck. Flat earthers fit one of those definitions for sure. Yes. All right. Let me make sure I got everything. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to have to try to set up with Jim a different time. He didn't even know what country I was in. Like, he didn't look up anything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab those super chats. I'm going to put that into Evernote. This is live at number 230. Put that in Evernote so that I can ask some of these. I will ask again the next time Jim is on. I will figure he'll come on again. Where'd it go? There it is. My chai. What's the chai dictionary? CGI dictionary? Is that what you mean? Let's see. 230. Jim Foster. Oh my gosh. Jeez. Evernote. Evernote has gotten bulky. Too bulky. There we go. Kind of slow. All right. Lael says, Toon, you can in fact make a leveled piece of wood and place it not level on a wall. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense. Unless you're misusing the definition of level. Delcos Man says, lame old MC Toon with his CGI dictionary, so fake. Got Mallory to make a Wikipedia page for him. That'd be so funny. Jom Fister. It's Jim Foster. All right. Well, Jim has at least been, he was a nice enough guy. Here's a question. Should I take this video? Jim was only on for a short time, so I can't leave it with the same description. It just wasn't enough. And move it to my backup channel. It's not my backup channel, my other channel. Just I do that with some to reduce the amount of extra stuff, and then maybe get just a little, make a little video of Brandon failing. Maybe I'll do that. Tell me what you think in Discord. Give me your feedback there. PJCnet, they have announced augmented reality contact lenses now. Well, let's see them. I do have another channel. It's MCTWO space N. And it's like I said, it's just to put extra stuff, and maybe somebody can find that. Yeah, use it for shorts. The problem with shorts is they're very visual. And if it's just me reading a chat message, that doesn't work well for a short. So, various me. Yep. So, all right. And then I've got this. This didn't really happen, did it? You want me while I'm in the middle of this to get you a link, Facty? Yes. All right. It's a good point. I should link it in my description. But I will pull it up right now. Yeah, Jim's phone died. He was talking to somebody and his phone died. Because he had to plug in his earbuds, but then his phone wasn't charging anymore. So, let's see. Oh, DKG custom. There's somebody called Sir McToon. Seriously, it is Sir capital M lowercase C TOON. I gotta talk to that guy. All right. There you go. There it is. That is my and my backup my other channel. If something were to happen on here and I couldn't stream here, I would probably stream there. So there's someone called McFlatty too that looks like MC Toon's twin brother. Oh my gosh. McFlatty, my ugly identical cousin. Best not to bring him up. He is a strange kid. So anyway, here's what I'm going to do. 20 minutes from now, I'm starting with Trey Hutchinson. I think I will maybe try to spend some time with Trey so that he doesn't have tech problems. So yeah, Glober Mom, thank you for that. She put the link to the next one in there. So here's what I'll do. I will wrap this up. I may or may not move this to my other channel, but hopefully I have a rousing debate with Trey Hutchinson in a little bit here. If you are a channel member or a patron, I try about once a week. I try to get out just a little something just for them to see, some shorts, just some little things. Did one this week. They're always funny. So I hope you enjoy that. Thank you to channel members and patrons and everyone that sent the super chats. I appreciate it very much. I'll see you in a few minutes with Trey. Until oh, hold on. McFlatty is the flat sheep of the family, says Mr. United for the Children. He is. Can you imagine me showing up at a family reunion? They all know what I do. And there's McFlatty, the awkward kid, waving across. He thinks that I'm like that because we're both on YouTube. He's like, hey, how you doing? And he comes running across, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want to see him here. He's that cousin. Anyway, that's it. We'll see you in a few minutes with Trey. Thanks a lot.